The Biden administration is putting pressure on Ukraine to lower its draft age for the military from 25 years old to 18 in an effort to increase the size of its forces. The White House says Ukraine needs more troops to continue the fight against Russia. A senior official says Ukrainians need about 160,000 additional troops, but the U.S. believes they will need even more. This comes as President-elect Donald Trump selected retired three-star Army General Keith Kellogg to be his special envoy to Russia and Ukraine. Kellogg served as Trump's top advisor on defense issues during his first administration. For more, let's bring in retired Navy Rear Admiral Mark Montgomery. He's also a senior fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracies. Thank you so much for being here. What do you make of Keith Kellogg for special envoy, and what will he be tasked with?
Well, thank you for having me. And I'm glad to see it's Keith Kellogg. I think some of the other options might have been a little harsh on Ukraine. So I think Keith Kellogg comes with a long experience in defense issues. I think that he's written in the past about what I thought were some logical steps to securing a cessation of hostilities. I'm not sure he or anyone can meet President Trump's one-day requirement. I think that's unrealistic. So I'm hoping with his experience, his relationship with Trump, he can help the president elect navigate a reasonable path to a cessation of hostilities that is fair to both Russia and Ukraine.
I mean, to your point, in a research report that Kellogg wrote earlier this year for the right-leaning think tank America First Policy Institute, he wrote that he would propose a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine in an effort to end the war. Is something like that attainable? Would Ukraine have to give something up? For example, some of the land already occupied by Russia?
I think it is probably inevitable at this point that they're going to have to have a cessation of hostilities along a line that includes Russia's illegally occupied territories in the Donbass region and Russia holding Crimea. And this is completely, it's obviously inappropriate in terms of international norms, but it's the position we're in right now. What I do hope is some of the other things he's written back in December of 2023, he wrote about there being U.S. and European security guarantees that might include NATO and the European Union. Those are the kind of inducements that I think Ukraine has earned in fighting off this Russian aggression over the last 2.5 years. So the reason I'm a little bit optimistic about General Kellogg over, say, some of the other options that might have been there, I think he might provide a more realistic path for Ukraine in the long term.
All right, interesting. We'll have to have you back and discuss more. Rear Admiral Mark Montgomery, thank you for your time.
Thank you.